Aloha from the beautiful Garden Island. This is Ron Margolis with eXp Realty and welcoming you to another blog presentation. And today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the island of Kauai and not so much about real estate. And I thought it might be useful for some of you folks on the mainland to just give you a quick little update in terms of what's been happening on the island pretty much since April in terms of rain and how it's affected the island. As I'm recording today, Tropical Storm Olivia has just passed us by, and fortunately it's way south of the island of Kauai. It did actually go over Maui, and that made it the first recorded storm since they've been recording these things to take that particular path. And we sure have had an abundance of hurricanes. It seems like they line up one after the other in the Pacific. And normally, because of the wind shear high up, the storms kind of dissipate before they get to the island. But this one is going to bring us some rain and thunderstorms today, but hopefully not too much. So back in April, you probably know that we had these torrential rains, and a lot of people, may have the idea that the whole island is underwater, so to speak. But it really only affected a few parts of the island. There were some parts near streams in Kaloa town, just adjacent to Poipu, where there's some flooding and home damage. And most of the damage occurred on the North Shore. And here we are, going into October, really. And the rains came April 15th, April 16th, and there were over 36 inches of rain recorded in one day, which is a lot of rain. And it caused a lot of traumatic effects. In HANALEI, it rerouted rivers, and the HANALEI PIER that you're looking at in the background here, recently restored a few years ago by the Rotary Club of HANALEI Bay, basically was sitting on sand. And it's only now that Blackpot, the whole park adjacent to the pier, is being repaired. And the roads going all the way out to the end of the road where Tunnels is and KA Beach, there were not only a dozen mudslides, but pieces of the road were actually removed. And it's been many, many months, and still to this day, that's not an area of the island that's accessible. So if you live out there, you can get a special pass, and there's a convoy that travels twice a day to and from, and that's the only way to really traverse out there. So it's an interesting moment for Kauai, because there are lots of vacation rentals out on that part of the island, and of course those folks are currently out of business, and life has changed for the people that live there because kids can run around the street, there's no traffic, and we just have to wait and see what the eventual outcome is going to be, because the state just instituted the Hyena Master Plan. And you can Google that and see what it's about. But basically, there were almost 3,000 cars a day traveling to the end of the road. And people love to come here and hike the Kauai Trail. It's one of the most famous tourist spots and the most magical places of Kauai that you can only get to through hiking or through boat or through helicopter. And in this new master plan, they're going to reduce the amount of cars going out to Haena to 900 cars a day from 3,000, and they're going to be adding some parking. So hopefully sometime next year things will get back to normal a little bit. But it's been a very challenging time for the island of Kauai. Many people lost their homes. There are still people that need regular both housing and food. They lost their jobs because they couldn't commute to work. And so we're still in a recovery phase. An important thing to note, though, is the rest of the island is in very, very good shape. And tourism is strong, and the real estate market is strong. A lot of people ask me, well, how has that affected property values on the island of Kauai? And I'd have to say that, at least to this point, we haven't seen much effect on the market. Now, of course, if you own the $10 million home that sunk into ground and had to be rebuilt right next to this pier that you're seeing me at, then that's a different story. Obviously, there was a lot of value lost in that home. And probably that owner will not be able to be rebuilt because of the stability of the land. So as time goes on, I think we're learning to respect more and more the power of nature and what are some of the long-term solutions for Kauai's North Shore. And in the meantime, stay safe wherever you are. Hopefully stay safe from any storms if you're on the East Coast or tornadoes. And hopefully we'll see you here soon in the fall or winter. If you've got any questions about property, feel free to email me or go to our website and send the question. And until then, it's Ron Margolis with eXp Realty, the nation's first cloud-based brokerage, coming to you from beautiful Kauai and wishing you a hui ho until we meet again. Aloha.